What's up, Tejas? I'm here today with Elizabeth and Reggie Roy from Ballin Custom Apparel, and they are located in Tomball. So happy we're here because your place is amazing. So thank you for allowing us to come in and talk to y'all.
Thank you.
So I wanted to know, I talked to y'all a little bit about, y'all have y'all's hands in a lot of different things. And so I would like y'all to tell me a little bit more about how y'all got started and what brought y'all to where y'all are now.
Okay, well, I started kind of like as a hobby first. I was playing a little baseball, basketball, and I started designing different t-shirts and stuff like that. And we started selling t-shirts to our team and other players and stuff like that, and just kind of evolved into a business later on. Most of the teams started asking, hey, can you do our t-shirts? We need shirts, we need hats. So it just kind of went snowballed after that. That's kind of how it got started.
Yeah, and then did you have like a background in business as well, or like what was your background?
My background, I went to college, I went to Texas Southern University. I studied business administration, management, and I always went to own my business, so this was an opportunity for me to start something from a hobby and bring it into the business.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my background.
Yeah, so you're actually using your degree.
Correct, yeah.
Good. And then how did you get started with this too? Was it just like, y'all were together and you're like, he's like, I need some help here. And so you helped, or, is this something that you actually really wanted to do yourself?
He kept on asking for a couple of years for me to kind of start working with him and helping him at the office, but I was teaching. I taught for 12 plus years, and then I wanted to change careers. And I decided to come and help him in the meantime while I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And while I was working in here, I started to learn a lot of the skills that he was doing. And I've always loved clothing and I love creating. And so all of a sudden it became something that I felt like I was meant to do this. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really needed to go look for a second job or another job, because then it kind of just became very natural for me to start collaborating with him and doing things with him. And as time went by, I started my own thing, which is Elizabeth Roy Collection, which is an online apparel store with unapologetic slogans that gear more of empowering and uplifting women, and anything that has to do with taking a stand against machismo and any abuse.
Oh, I like that. So, just because I want to know, but what did you teach?
I used to teach math.
Oh, okay.
Pre-AP, middle
awesome.
school, and elementary bilingual.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you're bilingual too.
Yes.
That's helpful. And then tell me a little bit more about what exactly each of your companies y'all do, because you have the Elizabeth Roy collection, you have Ballin Out Apparel, or Ballin Apparel.
Custom apparel.
Right.
Yeah.
Ballin
Custom
Custom.
apparel, right.
I'm just making up stuff. But and then you have another, a third one. So
Yeah, we have
can
a
you
brand.
tell me? Yeah. Can
we
you
have
tell
a
me like a little bit about each of them?
Yes. So Ballin Custom Apparel is really the decorating part of the business, where we will decorate anybody's apparel. If you want your own shirts or you want your own hats, we customize it, we embroider it, we screen print it. That's where the Ballin Custom Apparel comes from.
Okay.
Then there's a brand called Ballin Sportswear, which is kind of like my brand, where we brand it with my logo.
Which is this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll have my logo on it. It's mostly sportswear. Somewhere on there you may have your team, but it'll have my brand on it.
Okay.
On the sleeve or on the leg where they wear tights or things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yours
And
is,
then mine is the Elizabeth Roy
Which you
Collection.
were
It's
telling
kind
us
of like
about.
we have something that is together, which is Ballin Custom Apparel, and then he's got his own,
Yeah.
Ballin Sportswear, and then I have my own, which is Elizabeth Roy Collection.
And so with your collection, it's not custom. It's like basically you're putting stuff out, and it's like in bulk, I guess, and people can choose what they want. Kind of like a boutique, I guess.
It's an online store, and I come up with the designs, and there are some things that are custom. I can do some custom stuff, but mainly it's an online store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so with yours, is it like you can go and choose from a menu of different colors and cuts? and graphics and kind of mix and match, kind of like where you go on Nike.com and you can build your
Correct.
own shoe.
Right. So we're designing a new website. Probably going to launch in the next couple weeks. It'll just be Ballin Sportswear, and it'll have everything that I'm offering that you can use or choose from and put your design on it, but it will have my label on it.
Yeah.
And on the custom side, we have a selection. It's like a catalog where if you don't want to wear my brand, you can choose whatever you want. There's hats, there's socks, there's polos, there's button downs, but they're more like a stock item. So if you not into Ballin Sportswear, or you just say, no, I just need some basic t-shirts, and I got a staff of 10 people, we run a restaurant, then we will put your logo on those and service you that way as well.
Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about like how you find your customers and how you get your name out there. Like, are y'all a part of any organizations? Have you joined anything?
Well, I'm part of a network group now where it's kind of like we try to keep everything in the community. It's more like a Zoom kind of deal. I think we just started having in-person meetings and stuff like that. But a lot of my business comes from word of mouth. So I've been doing this for almost 15 years now. So we got a lot of repeat customers and a lot of word of mouth, and we deal with schools and stuff like that. And a lot of my contacts come from schools when she was teaching.
Yeah.
So a lot of those, we were able to get those accounts. So now that's just kind of like repeat orders. And then those referrals come in after a coach says, oh, use Reggie and them, man, they do a great job.
Yeah.
And then they'll send us another customer. So we hadn't had to advertise for I don't know how long, but she takes care of all the social media stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
But I'm more of an old school guy. I'll go knock on the door and say, hey, look, you need some shirts, or I'll go up to a baseball field and ask the coach, hey, we can really do those uniforms, man. I can give you a quote on them, things like that. So that's how I kind of get my customers.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a lot of time to sit down and just do social media. I guess because since I started that way, I'm kind of brainwashed that way.
Yeah.
But that's where she comes in and helps me out on that side, which is much needed also.
I'm the one that is in charge of all the social media, the reels, the videos, the music, and so that's the way how we complement each other. He takes care of one side, which is the corporate, the companies, the little leagues, and I take care of more individual customers and schools.
Yeah, and that's a great word to use, compliment, because I think that that is something that makes a business successful, is having that person that is complimentary to you. And in this case, y'all are married to each other, so
right.
that works. So you were talking about how you're, the social media guru for the business, and I know that takes a lot of your time. And as a small business owner, sometimes you don't really have that time to be focusing on social media as much. But how do you, what's the secret to finding the time to do that?
I don't really think there's a secret. I think you just have to do it if you want to have that exposure. And sometimes it can be overwhelming because it does take a lot of time. But for me, what works is like anytime that I'm doing something, I videotape myself. I just kind of put the phone on the side and I videotape, and then I go back and cut and edit, so that I can take the pieces of when I was working on specific things, and then I can put them on a reel, or I can just put some music to it. Anytime that I hear a quote or I hear something, I write it down. I follow his lead on having a small piece of paper, and I think of something, I write it down, because that could be either my next post on empowering, motivating, or it can be my next post on teaching what I do. Because they see the final product, but most of the time they do not see all the work involved and the detail that goes behind that product.
Yeah.
And so if you say what's the secret, there's no secret. You just have to work at it. You have to do it. Do not wait for it to be perfect. Just showcase your work. And even if you don't get any likes or you don't get any people following you, keep at it, because eventually you will reach the people that you need to reach.
Yeah. I think that's great advice, because honestly, I think sometimes I record here and there, but like recording all the time, and some people, if you're out in public, they might be like, what are they doing? But y'all are here, and it's like, why not? And that's That's great advice. So, and then also, do you sleep? Like, like either one of y'all? Because y'all are doing so much.
We take turns, right? Now,
Yeah.
I mean, last night I didn't, but we do. We get what, like 6 to
Yeah, we'll
7
probably get a
hours?
good
that's good.
6 hours in.
Okay.
I probably, she sleeps, I let her sleep longer. You know, sometimes I'll leave the house early, come in and get some work done, and I'll say, I'll come back and get you because I got a lot of things to do, so I'll let her sleep a little bit longer. But I'm up late at night just trying to prepare for the next day. And sometimes there's so much going on, just like, man, there's not enough time in the day to complete all
Yeah.
this. So I'll take my computer home and I'll send a quote out or prepare something for a customer, have it in their email box the next day, and I don't have to worry about it. Because once I get to the office, there's no telling what's going to be going on. I
Yeah.
may not get to it. So
Yeah.
we try to squeeze a little bit of sleep in from time to time. Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad. And then also, like, what would you say is your number one selling thing? And I know it's going to be different between the both of you. And then also, who's your number one, like, biggest seller?
For me, it's more of sports teams. Like, we deal with a lot of academies and training facilities, and we outfit their kids. Schools are like, you know, there's sometimes a high school may have 3,000 kids, you know, so we do a lot of their PE uniforms and coaches shirts and stuff like that. So those are kind of like our big accounts. So, but any other team or basketball or baseball organization who wants to, you know, wear our brand or be outfitted, and that's kind of like where a lot of our money comes from.
Yeah. And what about you? Who's your biggest customer?
Mine are more women. Women are my number one customer, more because that's who I cater to. All my slogans is about, you know, women finding their voice, looking for their self-worth, and being able to speak up.
Yeah.
And so my main customer is women, and really, you know, I sell a lot of t-shirts and caps.
Yeah. Would you say it's like a younger woman? or-
They're mainly based on the data that I get from Instagram is between 25 and 42 years
Oh,
old.
okay.
Yeah.
Don't you just love like the analytics that you can get now? Because
Right.
you never used to be able to get that.
No,
So
no.
it's like
It helps.
technology.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to ask you, I know that you went to TSU.
Okay.
Are you involved in any of your like alumni organizations, and do you connect that way? And then also you too, maybe with your alumni network.
No, I'd like to be involved. I just don't have a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to run a small business. But one of the things I did tell her, which was not too long ago, is that we need to reach out to a lot of the HBCUs. And I have a list of them. It's like 120 something of them that we want to start catering to, because I think there's a need for my business in those types of schools.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to try to tap into that in the near future. And she's going to help me with that. She's going to try to find the different people to contact so we can start making some contacts and going after that business too.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then
Yeah.
how about you? Do you stay
I
connected?
have a few connections through U of H. I would love to be a participant of, I know they have a fashion show in U of H.
Oh
and I
yeah,
would
they
love to
just had it not too long ago.
Yes, I would love to participate on that. But most of the stuff that I do and how I collaborate or how I connect with the community is by doing fundraisers, or, you know, giving a percentage of what I make. And then I've helped organizations, nonprofit like Fabrica de Milagros, who raise money for orphanage children in the Dominican Republic, and then Courage to Be. They also help children in Central America in education. And then I also help rescues when, you know, I make donations to help animals that are also in an emergency situation.
Yeah.
And so that's where most of, you know, my contribution goes to.
Oh, nice. So what about like y'all's attitude? You know, obviously y'all are married and y'all work together, but y'all also go home together. So how do you keep a good attitude, you know, when you are working with your partner? And is there an obstacle that y'all might have faced, and how did y'all get over that?
Sometimes it's challenging. I think because we have two separate types of things that we do. Like, she's in her area doing what she does. I'm in my area doing what I'm doing. And we come to work together, but we're doing something totally different. Every now and then we will meet in here and we'll discuss certain things that we need to go after. But for the most part, we don't bother each other. You know, I may get on her nerves, I don't know, but she doesn't say anything. But it's not as challenging as most people think it is. A lot of people say, man, how do you guys work together? Y'all 24/7, y'all go to work together, y'all go home together. Don't y'all get on one another? I say, no, man. I say, she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. And matter of fact, it just we complement each other because we try to bounce ideas off of each other.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to motivate her. If I think of an idea, I'll shoot it at her. I say, hey, I just thought of something. And I'll say, hey, what do you think about this? And she's like, oh, I'm not feeling it. And then if there's one that she does like, say, oh, I like that. That's my next shirt. You know, so we just kind of go back and forth and try to help one another out.
Yeah. And
So I gotta share this. So last night I was up until like 4 in the morning. Don't ask me why, but I was up. And I woke him up. I was like, hey, I'm trying to come up with this name. And he's like half asleep. And I'm like, I cannot like finalize it. Look, these are 3 that I have right now. He's like, it's 4 in the morning when I go to sleep. So I'm asking him for, you know, his advice or his feedback. But the funny part to that is that before, when I used to teach, I used to tell him, when we get out of work, I don't want to talk business. I just want us to, you know, to connect because we're a married couple. We want to go home. We want to have dinner. And I used to tell him, we're not talking business. But now it's me talking business constantly when we are at the dining table, or at 3 or 4 in the morning, I'm waking him up. And the best part of it is that he does not mind. Even if it's 3 or 4 in the morning, he will answer and he will give me his feedback, and he'll make it happen. So that's how we complement each other. Yeah.
Aw, relationship goals. Wow, yeah, that's really good. And so, what about like a secret? Like, obviously, you were just talking about, you know, you don't really separate work from home. You're like constantly thinking about work. But what would you say is the secret to like stepping away and like having time where y'all are like, we're just gonna be 100% like about each other, and put that like in the back of our minds? How can you do that?
I would say, you can say your own part, but me, I would say respect, communication, and raw honesty. You know, because when I do something that, you know, maybe could have been done in a different way, he will come and he will let me know. Like, he doesn't sugarcoat anything. And I might get my feelings hurt because I always want to be right, but he does it in such a way where it doesn't feel like he's putting my ideas down or he's making me feel like I'm incompetent. So that level of respect and communication, even if I haven't learned that skill, just goes a long way for me.
Yeah.
And that's how I've been able to stay here for a long time.
Yeah, that's really good. What about you?
Well, I think the thing we've been trying to do too, we've been trying to exercise and stuff like that. So we've been taking some time, whether it's in the evening or in the morning, and we may go spend 2 hours together just to get away from work. We may go walk the park or something. We may stay at home and lift some weights and do something. But that kind of breaks the monotony from coming to work and stuff. So I think that helps us too, because she's motivating me, I'm motivating her, and then after that we come to work and we do what we need to do. But we know tomorrow we're going to do that same thing, but it takes us away from the work, and we get to spend that time together too.
Yeah. I think that those are both great ideas that people can take away with them, especially the one exercising. I think that a lot of us, we get stuck at our desk or stuck, you know, focusing on how to fix a problem at work, and you forget to like step away. So, and sometimes that's the best thing to do to make those juices keep flowing.
Or some of your best ideas come when you're at the park walking and talking. And so that just kind of, you know, makes you feel like you're a little bit more productive, and at the same time you're working on your health, because if you don't have your health, then nothing else matters.
Exactly. Yeah. So the other thing that I was wondering, I know that you talked about this started as a hobby for you.
Right.
But you know, we were walking through your store, and y'all have so much equipment in here, and I mean, that must take a lot of time to learn. Did you like just know that, or did you like learn it a long time? Like, how did you
Yeah, I've been doing this for, like I said, 15 years. So I started out sewing. My first job, I was sewing. It took me hours. I mean, I don't know why I even took this job. I didn't think it was that much involved, but when I took that job, I knew I had to get it done. So I manually sewed this job. It was called applique, and you had to sew all the lettering on these jerseys. And it was doing a couple of weeks, so I worked hours and hours just learning how to sew, and I got good at it. So, but now I have machines that kind of do it for me, and if you guys got time, I'll show you some of the machines we have. But that's how I kind of learned. It was kind of like a gradual thing, but trial and error.
Yeah.
You screw up some, you may mess up a couple of jerseys here and there, but you learn from them, but the next 10 will be perfect.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to put in that work. And that's kind of, I'm self-taught on pretty much everything that we operate in here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that takes time to
Yeah, it
teach
does.
yourself. Like, I know Jenny loves to learn. She's like a learner, and she's always watching like seminars and tutorials, and you know, if she doesn't know how to do
Yeah.
something, that's the good thing, I guess, now is you have YouTube. So
Yeah, that helps. Even when I got my first screen printing equipment, I spent so many hours, and I started doubting myself. I said, what have I got myself into? I don't have time for all this stuff. But I went home, slept on it, came back the next day. I say, no, you're not gonna defeat me. We're gonna go at it all day till I figure this out.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Once I start figuring it out, I say, oh, it's not so bad. Just have to put in the work.
Yeah.
And once you get self-taught, you just kind of grow from there.
Yeah. So the next thing that we're gonna do, it's called the Texas Trio, and basically what we do is we have a hat with some questions, and y'all are gonna choose 3 questions.
Am I wrong?
Oh, I think there's there's 4 in here. So, oh yeah. So go ahead and pick your first one and read it out loud.
She's like, it's gonna bite her.
I know, like I said. Do you listen to country music? Favorite song and artist? I do listen to country music, but I'm not really good about like remembering the name of the song or the artist. But there's one song that I love, and it's like, it says, "You're gonna miss this."
Oh,
and,
yeah.
My brother played it for me one time, and every time I hear it, like it makes me cry. So now I like, you're gonna miss this.
Aw, I'm gonna have to listen to that one.
Yeah, it's really
when
good.
I leave.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and pick the next
Oh,
one.
wait, yes, actually.
Oh
you
yeah,
have
answer.
I don't listen to much country, but I think the last country song I heard was I'm gonna take this horse to the Old Town Road or something like that. It had a nice
I
little
don't know.
rhythm to it.
Some people
So,
might say it's not country though.
yeah,
It's a little poppy.
Yeah, right. So that's about as country as I get. You know, other than going to the rodeo or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know, we'll go and experience it that way. But I don't listen to much country.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Go that way.
pick the next one.
Name 3 famous people from Texas. Me, Reggie. Name the 3rd one.
Jamie Foxx.
There you go.
Oh yeah, he is. He's from outside
Cleveland or
of Dallas.
somewhere.
Yeah, like
Janis Joplin, I think she's from Port Arthur.
yes.
Look at you.
Who else?
You didn't need to call a friend.
You're like, I can't count on my friend.
She didn't answer last
She only
time.
taught math.
That's it. What about the guy that went to CSU? The football player.
Michael Strahan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watch
See?
him every morning.
The
Yeah.
friend did
We're
help.
tagging you, Michael.
The
All right.
friend did help.
And let's just do the last one.
What food means Texas to you? I would say barbecue.
Yeah. Do you
Same.
agree?
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
I mean,
you
who
can't
doesn't
go
love
wrong
good
with
Texas barbecue?
Yeah, you just can't go wrong. It's so good. Well, on that note, I'm gonna have to close out this interview because it is my dinner time. No, I'm just kidding. No, but thank you so much, you guys, for letting us come in again. And also, we're gonna make sure that we drop your information down below so that our viewers can reach out to y'all and get some quotes so that they can get their apparel from y'all.
Right.
And also follow y'all on social media.
Right.
And
Thank you.
like their posts because they are famous. Hello.
That's right. 2 out of 3.
All right, so thanks again and bye. What's up, Tejas? Today is National Best Friends Day. So I'm here with one of my best friends. And I say that because I have like multiple best friends, and that's what I wanted to talk about today and get your opinion about, Trina, because I know that like I call you my best friend, and like I would say like you call me your best friend too. But you also have another best friend.
I do.
And she's like your number one best friend.
She is, right? She is, yeah. We go back to 5th grade.
Yeah, and I'm not jealous about that.
You shouldn't be. Don't be jealous, because there's nothing for everybody.
So why do you think that it's okay to have like more than one best friend?
I think you have different best friends that you can do different things with. Like you, I know that I can go with you and you can take me to all the great spots to eat, and that we're going to be fat full, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how much fun we had, and we're going to take pictures of our food and all that stuff. But then like my best friend that I've had since 5th grade, like I can call her and she can give me sound advice, and I know that she will be like my voice of reason sometime, and sometimes you need somebody like to bring you back down the center and say like, hey, you're doing this wrong kind of thing. So
yeah, and I would never be the voice of reason.
You will be.
No,
After we get done eating.
No, actually, that's a really good point, because I feel like all of my best friends have different things that they bring to the table.
Definitely.
And like my voice of reason, my best friend for that would be Jordan. And so I'm gonna also talk to Jordan. But Jordan is the one that like gives me some really great advice, and I don't really listen to it all the time. But I mean,
it plays in the back of your head.
Exactly. I'm like, Jordan said this, so yeah. But do you also think that you can have, like, I can have a best friend, and then maybe that person doesn't consider me a best friend back? Do you think that that's a possibility? And like, and I'm not just talking about for me, I'm talking about for you or anybody. Like, and then should you be offended if that's the case? Like, has that ever happened to you?
I had a best friend, the same like 5th grade best friend, and she moved away, and I never heard from her again. So I love it. Facebook stalker to see if she's still alive, and she is. But I don't think that I was as much of her best friend as she was. No, she wasn't. But
like she thought you were.
I was her best friend, but she wasn't my best friend. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It hurt my feelings. So I think that you could be like giving your all to somebody else, and then to them you're just a friend.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
And I think that that's true. Like, I think that I have a few people like that, but I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna get hurt about it.
Well, mine was 5th grade, so like I wrote in my diary about it.
Maybe we'll read that later. That should be interesting. I still have my diaries, so.
I have no clue.
And then how easy is it to become a best friend with you? Like, you know, because for me, like I was telling you earlier when we went to dinner, that I met this really cool girl.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, like I want to be your best friend. And she was like, oh my God, okay. And so I really do see us having like a really good friendship. We just got along so well. So do you think that, like, is that how you go and make friends? Would you automatically be like, they're going to be my best friend? Like when you met me, did you think like, she's going to be my best friend?
No. I think you have to like build up the best friend. Like you start off like, hey, I like this person, do they like me back? Okay, we're gonna be friends. Like I'm gonna text them, but not like a lot of text them, and you know, and just kind of like build it till you get to that best friend point, because we live together. So I think that's what like catapulted our friendship to that next level. But I don't know if like you just jump right into being best friends. Like I think it's kind of something that builds.
It's kind of like dating, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, well, I'm glad that I'm here celebrating National Best Friend Day with you.
Look, we're like ketchup and mustard. We go together, right?
We really do. Oh my God, we're perfect.
Yay!
I didn't even notice that. Oh my God, we had to take a picture in a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, and so to celebrate National Best Friends Day today, we actually went to a restaurant and we ate a lot and drank some margaritas. So I don't think there's any better way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, that's all, y'all.